In this video, we'll demonstrate how lighting contrast affects the image. The other thing I wanted to talk about here was contrast ratio, which is how much contrast there is in the scene itself. So obviously we've already changed out our setup here a little bit. So here we have a plenty dramatic look. This is a contrast ratio of about 2 or 3 stops. The bright side of Lisa's face is about 3 stops brighter than the darkest shadows on the dark side. So now I'm going to add a very broad panel light as a fill on the dark side of her face. So yeah, that lightens up the shadows some. It's still pretty high contrast ratio, fairly dramatic look, but softer than before. Now, if we crank that fill light up, we can flatten it out to the point where the fill is just as bright as the key, and you effectively have a contrast ratio of none, or 1-to-1. It's very flat. And of course, if you want it flat, you can just use one light and bring it straight on from right in front of her. Now that's an even, flat look. Still a little shadowing underneath her features. So I'll bounce the other light off the floor to bring that up a bit. That's doing for us anything. Yeah, and that's looking nice. A fairly even, flat light. That's a very different look than the low-key, high-contrast, dramatic lighting we started with. And flat lighting is used a lot in fashion photography, cosmetics, sometimes products. And you get more dramatic lighting and narrative storytelling, depending on the mood they're trying to set. And on the far end of the scale, you might have a horror film or, the classic film noir kind of thing that can have the very high contrast ratios. And most productions tend to fall somewhere in the middle. But it's a wonderful tool at your disposal to create a look and a feeling for your image. So I'm going to add a backlight here, and that adds contrast by introducing a brighter element. This is brighter than I might typically use, but you get the idea. And so far, we've just been lighting Lisa, but there's also the whole rest of the scene to light, and we can play with the contrast of that as well. I could maybe start making some kind of little shape or something in the background. There's a million different things you can do. I mean, you can put, if you had a window and you could put your light through a window and have a little window pattern coming through, you could put that lamp or some other practical source back there. Many things you could do, and even changing the set, taking that reflective piece of metal and putting it in there would change the contrast a lot. So, the contrast of the scene, as far as lighting goes, the background is another element where you can really adjust that a lot. I can't see what I'm doing right now, so I can sort of see it in the monitor. That's pretty cheesy looking, but anyway, it does give you some contrast. Maybe I'll blur it out a little bit. Click on the next video to continue. New videos drop every couple of days. If you like what you see, like and follow us on our social media channels. And everything is downloadable for free on our website, rucciproductions.com.